Hi, I'm Steve Sarnes, and I am honored to be this year's host of the garden party, along with my wife, Lori. The garden party is an annual event. It's a big tradition, and it's a great time to not only view the nature of the campus, but also to get reconnected to the mission, which is all about welcoming all, partnering together, and most of all, it's enriching lives. We're going to get together and have a great time. This is going to include staff, the wonderful warriors here at UMRC, families, friends. I want to also thank all of our closest donors and also our extremely generous sponsors. And they'll be highlighted throughout the video. So we look forward to seeing you. It's a time to really share joy and stories together.
My name is Andy Schmina, and I'm the president of AZ Schmina Incorporated. We're a general building contractor in Southeast Michigan here. And my connection with UMRC is I've been involved with several of their construction projects, throughout this campus and some of their PACE projects. So the caring for the elderly has been a learning process over the last 10 years just to see the whole continuum of care. I used to think it was just a nursing home, but now we see it's independent living, assisted living, then maybe a nursing home, skilled nursing, and memory care, and then medical care across the street if you need it. So that's what's kind of neat about this place is the whole continuum of care. We want to build nice places for people to promote their human dignity, and especially for the people that are financially challenged. They deserve a nice place as well. So our job is kind of optimizing the budgets and the materials so we can stretch the dollars so that we can afford to give nice places for people to live, at all stages of their life and their journey. For myself, as I get older, you don't want to be just shut up in a house, alone. And I know that a lot of people have been like that, like my mom and my dad. You need to have a sense of purpose and a place to go and a community, and I think you've got it here.
My name is Steve Fedico, and it is my privilege to serve as President and CEO for United Methodist Retirement Communities and Porter Hills. So we as UMRC and Porter Hills have a shared mission statement of welcoming all, partnering together, and enriching lives. We also have a shared bold vision of a world in which all are empowered to age well. So we came together as two organizations a little over 2 years ago. And really what we found over that first year is that we are stronger together. There was a lot more depth of expertise we could offer to our residents. We had stronger resources, stronger ability to execute our mission. It became crystal clear about 15 months ago when the world experienced the COVID pandemic, how much stronger we are together. The garden party is a wonderful to celebrate all those who have made it possible for us to go above and beyond in executing our mission. And so I look forward and I hope people feel encouraged to come so that we can share not only this and celebrate the successes, but give a vision for the future. We are looking more beyond COVID recovery. We're looking to how can we continue to serve those who choose our communities or choose our services today, but also grow that mission through additional retirement community options, through affordable housing, through middle market housing, through home and community-based services, and an unwavering commitment to those who already receive services from us today.
He was my husband of 63 years. We were married 10 days after we graduated from Albion. In fact, we had met in high school in Lansing. We had just moved to that area. I saw him across the hall, and there's a boy I'd like to get to know. This is an amazing community, very welcoming. We were the second people to move into these cottages, so we kind of got to know people as they moved in. I don't know how many times I will say this in the course of this conversation, but just about every day he would say, "I'm so glad we moved here." Well, starting with Chuck's death, I spent the first 2 weeks with my daughter, who lives just 6 miles out of town. And I didn't want to come back, and I wasn't ready to mingle with people. I knew I had listening ears here, clergy or friends. I didn't have to speak, or I could speak, and that was very helpful. I felt I had the support I needed, I could depend on here at CRC, so it was a good place to be. Oh, I know one thing I wanted to be sure to say. I think some people losing a spouse wouldn't want to stay in the same place. I found this really comforting to be where he was. It's just a very warm, welcoming place. The staff do everything they can to be helpful, and they treat us so well, and through this COVID, they've done everything they could to make us feel part of a community, delivering food, little treats, even drinks sometimes. Margarita. I mean, yes. I'm just grateful to be here and would like to contribute to help others to get here. It certainly is well-used money, and they're caring for the people here is foremost. And they do whatever they can, and what they do is a lot and appreciated. I'm very grateful to be here.
I am Ed Southworth, and I'm the Vice President of CareLink Medical, and about 6 years on the Board of Trustees of UMRC and in Porter Hills. So lots of affiliation, lots of connection. And as CareLink Medical, we have been a servicing provider for Porter Hills and United Methodist Retirement Centers in Chelsea for about 20 plus years. So we provide a lot of respiratory and medical equipment and as-needed services for both of those facilities with lots of love and care, 24/7. I have been partaking, my wife and I, from a personal standpoint and an organization standpoint, of being a donor. Mostly because it's just people taking care of people. That's what CareLink does, that's what UMRC does. We love what you guys do. We love and believe in the values and the mission of the organization, and couldn't be happier being a provider.
I was instilled by a hardworking grandparents that were farmers, and I think I always have just loved the elderly. So when I started as a 16-year-old in dining services, I had no clue that this would be the journey I sat upon. I've worked through several different positions, and at the time I completed my bachelor's degree. The UMRC Foundation created the Staff Scholarship Program, and it actually is what pursued me into returning to go through my master's program. And with the support of the Staff Scholarship Program, I was actually able to do an accelerated program and achieve that all while working at UMRC. It was just really amazing that along with Staff Scholarship Program and tuition reimbursement, that those small financial components really do add to the big picture of pursuing that, especially for a master's program. So not having the financial burden of, how am I going to pay for books and how am I going to pay for these credits, it was really extremely helpful in that journey. And I feel like obtaining my master's degree has made me be successful in my roles here at UMRC since I've pursued that. UMRC is truly my family. I have worked here for 13 years, and so during my time here, I've gotten married, I've had a child, and it's truly rewarding to be part of such a great big family. What I see for my future at UMRC is continuing to be a loyal, dedicated employee, and I hope to continue growing through the organization. I'm finding that I'm learning a valuable experience right now as an administrator, and I hope that I can continue to grow based on my experiences with the organization.
My name is Wendy Brightman, and I'm the president of the UMRC Foundation and the Porter Hills Foundation. Our first pillar is benevolent care. Our foundation was started as the safety net for the older adults in our care. If someone outlives their savings, we are here as that safety net. The foundation has assets. We have funds set aside that donors have gifted to help so nobody has to leave their home. The second pillar is capital. We help with bricks and mortar and raising dollars through donor support to help build the buildings where the care is provided. Things like a wellness center that would not have happened without donor support. Our third pillar is celebrating our team members, those who help to provide our care. We have emergency aid, and we also have scholarships, competitive scholarships, really fantastic competitive scholarships. Someone who works here can come to the foundation and apply for scholarships up to 4 times at $3,000 each time, which will really help people to expand their own success, whether it's with our organization or outside of our walls in the future. The fourth pillar that we have is life enrichment. We bring life and love to those we serve, whether it's in music programs or our wellness programs, the arts, our gardens, all the extras, we help make those things possible. We bring in the love. It's a wonderful job to get to have, to help bring that joy to those we serve.
I help assemble teams that create bigger project development principles, and then we work together to get those things financed and built. This is my home. I started working here when I was 25. I've had a lot of life milestones here over the years, and have cared for residents' parents as well as them. And there's just such a rich history of people who come and go from here and bring a little part of themselves that stays. This is really an amazing place, and all of our communities are amazing places and have their own cultures and their own feels. Little small cities, I guess, is probably a good way to describe it. I have deep relationships with the staff members who are here. We seek a lot of input and feedback to things that we build and design, and so we work pretty intensely together for long periods of time and then open new places up. I've had my grandma here and my mom here, and I work here, and it's easy to be a family member here and work here because people just get great care, and this is just an awesome place to be. But it also gives you a different perspective on things too, about what our customers see from the outside and things that they care about. So there's so many things that go into wellness for the people who live here, from spiritual wellness to physical wellness. People need to have a place that they can gather and be with their family members to continue to stay connected, and that is just critical. Those outside spaces during COVID have been critical over the last year. In order for people to be able to spend any time with family members, it's been really, really important to do that. There were lots of window visits that happened over the last years, even in the dead of winter. So people really need to see each other's faces and be as close as possible. And our outdoor spaces really allowed people to do that. And we were fortunate enough through philanthropy to have the opportunity to build a really wonderful wellness center here. And that wellness center looks into an area that didn't exist before the new construction, which is a nice little sheltered courtyard called the Kresge Courtyard. And that courtyard is getting its furniture tomorrow, so everybody's pretty excited about things happening. That courtyard boasts a bird feeding station, a really, really complex fairy garden. There's going to be a big family table in the middle, a sheltered family table that residents can gather together to eat, and then there's going to be lots of nice outdoor places for families to come and spend time with the people who are here. We have a putt-putt golf course out there. We have a fire pit with some Adirondack chairs around that, so it's just a neat place to hang out, little oasis in the community. The Kresge Courtyard actually happens to be a transitional space that is between our residents who live in our skilled nursing facility and also residents who live in independent living. So it's going to be a shared place for those two sets of residents. And that's always very unique when that happens. Building some friendships, extending friendships that have gone on for years, and an opportunity for people to care for each other and add purpose to each other's lives. We have a very extensive cutting garden here, and we often have independent living residents who will take skilled nursing residents out to cut fresh flowers and to take those back to their living spaces. So lots of opportunities for people to volunteer and to stay relevant and to look out for other people, which is a very important part of aging.
Without the incredible support of our donors, we wouldn't be able to do these things. The gardens that we're celebrating this year for our skilled nursing in Chelsea are just one example.
What we've developed here is very unique anywhere in any state for the elderly to be able to come over here, whether in an independent or an assisted or memory care or in the skilled, to be able to have the services and all the facilities that are available here is quite amazing. So I think it really raises the bar, and I think it just meets the needs. As people get older, it doesn't mean you stop living.
We serve people who are homeless. We serve people who have more than enough and can help support others, and everything in between. So I'm very, very proud that we are the most economically diverse older adult services organization in the state of Michigan. That speaks volumes.
Building new housing for people and watching those folks move in and become their own new community. And just seeing that new community form and people looking out after each other and making new friends, enjoying each other's company, laughing. That part of it has been really fun.
The population that we serve of older adults have paved the path for all of us, always, for generations to come. It is our job to hold up the needs of older adults as a worthwhile, worthy, faithful investment. That courtyard at Kresge, which our fundraiser helped to build, when you can view it from your room, especially when you couldn't have visitors, seeing things alive and growing and blooming, it's so important. So that's part of that life enrichment piece that we help make possible with donor dollars. We take the dreams and make them a reality.